You don't level up by adding, you level up by letting go. Most people tend to think growth is about doing more. In reality, the next version of you is created by subtracting. Subtracting as in old habits, old identities, old comfort zones, old ways of thinking. You can't carry everything forward. The new you demands space, and that space only comes from letting parts of the old you die. If you're not willing to lose something, you're not serious about changing. In my life, I had to change a lot of things. One of the main things I'm proud of letting go is throughout my early 20s, throughout my whole 20s, for like a whole, from 18 to like 28, 29, I was smoking cigarettes heavily. I started smoking weed around 19, 20, and that took up, 10 years of my life. I had to make a trade. I had to make a trade-off, and I traded smoking cigarettes and smoking weed, being high all the time, with gym, proper nutrition, proper rest. I'm not one of those guys that can balance both lifestyles. I had to choose one. And even though the high I got from smoking weed and even smoking cigarettes, I had to change that. I had to trade that in with this new version of me that was ideal, which was someone who was fit, strong, disciplined, wasn't weak. And those vices were really making me weak. Felt good in the moment, but that moment compounds and I was out of breath. Skin was looking crazy. The list goes on. I'm so glad I made that trade-off with now I'm in the gym. I've been in the gym as long as I've been smoking and all that, but it was inconsistent. It was half-half. So the results really showed that as well. That is a key example of how I had to trade in the old self with the new me. It's a trade-off that we all have to, take if we really want to be serious about this. Another one is I had to trade my limiting beliefs with real evidence that I am becoming the ideal version of myself. It's all in the mind. It's the mindset. I had to change my mindset. I had so many limiting beliefs for no reason. I look back in hindsight of that kid and I'm just like, wow, he really had nothing to worry about. We've been fine this whole time. We were just conditioned to doubt, conditioned to failure, conditioned to fear. I had to remove fear and exchange fear with courage, with trust. Pretty much being in the devil's hand to now being with God, God's heart. And that's the ultimate trade-off that's paid off now, because I would be a lost man. I would still be a boy, The old you will fight back. This is where people get stuck. The old you isn't evil, it's just familiar. It wants safety, certainty, comfort. So when you try to evolve, fear shows up. Doubts get louder. Procrastination increases. You start romanticizing your old life. That's not a sign you're doing something wrong. It's proof you're outgrowing your current identity. Growth feels like loss before it feels like freedom. My analogy of this is like the crazy ex-partner who refuses to let you go or is finding it difficult to accept your pursuit of finally glowing up the way you deserve. We all don't have this, experience, but to the ones out there that know, you want to grow. You're outgrowing this old relationship. You're outgrowing this person. And then when you finally level up or make the attempts to do so, this person keeps dragging you back. This person keeps reminding you why you shouldn't be going there, reminding you what's familiar, what's comfortable, what used to be. That's when you finally break through. The old version of yourself can no longer reach you. I 100% believe that when I make strides and steps in my own life, it's only my old self that holds me back. It's always my old ways of being remind me of how comfortable and happy we were, fake happy we were in that old spot. But when I make strides and make new decisions and change my mindset and get around new people that can help me and vice versa, the old me starts to, get louder and cry for attention. But I know that's the voice that I need to turn down. And every time I do make these new breakthroughs in my life, and something bad happens in the background, I know something is going well because it's another cry for help from my old self, that the new self should always triumph, overcome, and move forward. Your environment will resist the new you. When you change, not everyone will celebrate it. Friends may feel threatened. People may not understand. People will try to pull you back into your old roles. And that's not because they hate you, but because your growth forces them to confront their own stagnation. This is the real cost: being misunderstood, outgrowing rooms, and standing alone for a season. If everyone around you is comfortable with who you are, you're probably not evolving fast enough. Outgrowing faces, places, and spaces is a part of the game. People will naturally feel intimidated or inspired by your growth. Don't let either reaction hinder your journey. Keep going. It's important. People will stay the way they are. That's not on you. That's not your responsibility. People are responsible for their own happiness. Don't let that be your burden. The price is high, but the cost of staying the same is higher. Yes, becoming the new you will cost comfort, old relationships, old routines, and old beliefs. But staying the same costs your potential, your future self, your self-respect. The real question isn't, what will this cost me? It is, what will it cost me if I don't change? The new you isn't optional. It's required for the life you say you want. You're one step away from making the shift into the new you. It's truly yours.